Hi guys, this is Angela. I am coming to you from the DeWispelaire homeschool area, and I am going to do a video basically on what we're doing this year for homeschool and giving you an idea of our philosophy in homeschooling, show you a little bit of our area, and so show you some of the curriculum that we're doing, and just talking about how it is that I homeschool Daniel and Alyssa, both of whom have cognitive disabilities as well as other things going on with them, and how we do things a little bit differently, probably from typical homeschools. So I'll talk about that a little bit as well. This is more of an overview video, and I may be doing additional videos in the future to just talk about things more specifically. But this will be just a rundown of what we're doing this year. So last year was our first year doing homeschool. So it was kind of jumping in and seeing what worked. We decided to go with a video-based Christian curriculum that I felt fit us really, really well because I needed to be able to work with both Daniel and Alyssa. They're pretty much at the same level, but work with them differently. Alyssa's very visual. Daniel is visual as well, but probably needs a little bit more interactive work than Alyssa does. Alyssa, she memorizes things. She loves music. Daniel does too. So they're actually very similar in their learning style. Daniel, because he's nonverbal, takes a little bit different tack with how we do things, especially with phonics and reading. So we decided to go with BJU Press last year for their K5, which is their kindergarten curriculum. And it is, I would say, when it first starts off, it starts off really nice for kindergarten in that children with no background really in letters and numbers are going to have a nice progression into all that. But then halfway through, it kind of jumps really, really hard into word families, sight words. It has that from the beginning, but it's much more focused on reading and so forth. And that would probably put them ahead, which most curriculum, especially home curriculum that's Christian-based, tends to put kids a little bit more ahead of where they are in public school. And so when the K5, where we ended up with K5, I would say is well into first grade material. That being said, Alyssa went through it all, but she did have trouble with, I would say, the last 2 or 3 months of the curriculum, meaning that you could tell that she wasn't getting everything. And so we are repeating BJU Press K5 this year, and I'll show you what we're using as far as material. Daniel is pretty much the same way as far as where he's at there, but we're using some other things in addition to the BJU Press K5 for him, and I'm doing it with Alyssa as well. So we are basically calling this one room classroom, where I use the same curriculum with both of the kids, but then I work with them individually with other things in the areas that they need additional work with. Now, Alyssa is going to learn how to write cursive. I'm still working with Daniel just on being able to write his name. I'm doing the same with Alyssa. Alyssa struggles as well. But I'm going to progress Alyssa a little bit harder this year into learning cursive, even though BJU Press does not do that until 2nd grade. I've read a lot of things on cursive writing, especially with special needs, and it's something that I decided I'm going to try with Alyssa. So anyway, before I go much farther, I'm going to go ahead and show you our little setup here. You can see some of our whole school area. This is just one big table. We got, someone gave it to us after a garage sale last year, and it works great because all of us can sit here. And then we use this computer, which is a Dell computer that we bought last year, to do the video streaming for all the videos. I'm not going to actually show you that today, but I will talk about it. So this is what we're going to be doing this year. And one thing that we're doing differently this year is that we're not doing the BJU Press Bible. We started every single day with Pledge of Allegiance and Bible and prayer, and that was very, very important for me to do that. Something that I had never had when I was in public school. The kids never had when they were in public school, but it's something that I felt it was really important for us. And so I did that. And what I found is that halfway through the year, when we were having crunch days where we had to get through material more quickly because we had appointments or things like that, sometimes I would skip Bible, and Alyssa would have a fit. Okay, she's like, Bible, where's Bible? Right? So I learned right away that she loved the Bible class. But we're not going to do BJU Bible this time. We are still going to do Bible first, but we're going to use a different curriculum so that we can change things up a bit. I don't want it to be the exact same thing that we did last year. So we are doing, and this is Abeka. You probably can't see it very well, but this is their Homeschool K5 Bible. And we're going to do their video Bible class. And I really like what Abeka does. It is an actual teacher teaching to a classroom. So the first 25 minutes of Alyssa's day and Daniel's day will be actually participating in an Abeka classroom for K5. And they do everything that you would do in a normal classroom. They do Pledge of Allegiance, and there are other kids there. And they do songs, Bible songs. They do Bible reading, and they do Bible story and Bible activities. So this is the activity book that goes along with K5 Bible. And we're going to see how that goes. I really like what I see with the video. Went through about the first week of the K5 Bible Abeka Bible curriculum. Really like it. Think it'll change these things up a little bit for us this year. And I'm also, I'll talk about Abeka a little bit later, but maybe incorporating a little bit more Abeka in the future, but I'll talk about that in a second. So another thing that we have going on here is, let me put this over here, let me try to get this up. Okay, sorry I'm not doing this well. This is the Focus on Fives Phonic Practice Workbook, and I've already taken about a third of the booklet already out and put it in their binders, ready for the first 3 months of school. But this is their phonics worksheets, and Daniel and Alyssa both have worksheets, the phonics practice worksheets. And these are work text pages, also Focus on Fives, and these are a combination of science, heritage studies or history, and language arts and reading. And so again, with the same as the other, I took out about the first third, and we will be working on this. And I guess, yes, we did these previously last year. We went through and did all of the workbook pages last year for K5. We're going to do it again. I believe that repetition is great, especially with learning disabilities, and so I don't have a problem with just doing them over again. And a lot of these, obviously, it's been a year since they've seen these, so they're not going to remember doing them, maybe a few, but they probably won't remember the majority of them. So we'll just doing the same ones again. And this is the math workbook, the same as the others, where I've already taken about a third of the pages out already and put them in their binders ready for school to start. And then they will also have this is added, and this is their this is called a Right Now. These are additional workbook pages that focus on handwriting, and so I will be adding these in, and I've already taken some of the pages out up to lesson 20 already for them to work on additional handwriting. Now, BJU Press does not start the kindergarten with cursive. Abeka does. So with BJU Press, they've learned what's called precursive. So it's not a print manuscript. It's more of a again, a precursive writing where it's very close to cursive, I would say. And they did really, really well with it, both Daniel and Alyssa. Daniel's left-handed, so he struggles anyway. They're both got low tone in their hands and their fingers. So handwriting is a struggle bus for both of them, but we're going to be working hard on handwriting this year. So let me move these away. For the first half, well, let me do this. Yeah. Okay. For the first half of the year, we're going to be doing something new, and this is where I'm doing things a little bit differently. We are doing Heritage Studies, Grade 1, so you'll see that right here. And this we added in January, and we started doing it 2 days a week to have something more for Daniel. He loves history and science. And so we decided to add this in. This is the textbook, and they go through, this is Heritage Studies, so it's history, it's community leaders, this is capital, we're actually getting into states, the first Americans, let's see, settlements, so Jamestown right here. So it's a good introduction where Thanksgiving, the first Thanksgiving. So we're going to go through this, and this is the activity manual, and both Daniel and Alyssa have an activity manual. And they both need hands-on help with every worksheet page that they do. So having Alyssa do a grade 1 paper is actually fine. She does really well with them. And so I don't think it's too much ahead of her where she's at. She comprehends really, really well. She can read some sight words, but she's not reading, I would say, well at all. She will get there. Now, again, she was an early 5 when we started kindergarten, so she just turned 6 in June. So, and in the state of Colorado, they don't require you to even start school until 6. So we're doing good. She's going to be, I call this junior first grade. We're blending kindergarten and first grade. And I think it's a good solution for her and for Daniel. Then in January of this year, we're going to actually start something new. And this is Science Shepherd Introductory Science. And this has a level A and a level B. This is the DVD program. And so they have 10-minute videos for each class. And I purchased these from christianbook.com because they do have a level A and a level B. So you can go through it level A, the workbook. And sorry, this is the answer key. But they have booklets for level A, which is a workbook for, I would say, kindergarten to 2nd grade. And then they have level B, which is 3rd grade to 5th grade. So it's they can go through it twice easily, if not more than that. And so we're going to do that, at least start going through it in January. So we're doing Heritage Studies 4 days a week, and we'll finish up Heritage Studies during the fall. And then we're going to do science, additional science in the spring. With Focus on 5s, the BJU Press Focus on 5s, the kindergarten program, they weave in some science and heritage studies even within their literature program, but they're just getting it a little bit more. So we're actually having a class on heritage studies and science. The other thing that we're adding this year is spelling. So we are actually adding in Spelling 1 from grade 1. And that is only to get them to have more exposure to words that they've seen in K5. And they'll see a lot again in grade 1. But I wanted to start in with spelling to have them introduced to 10 new words every single week, words that they will write over and over again. We are not going to have spelling tests, but we will have reviews, and that's what I'm going to call them. I'm doing things differently because my kids have disabilities, they don't need to be tested on spelling at this point, especially because they're going to receive this material again when we do grade 1 BJU Press. So, and we're going to do the entire curriculum grade 1 BJU Press. So they'll see the grade 1 spelling again. So right now it's kind of a first touch going through spelling and adding in some additional content. They'll have videos for spelling, which are about 15 minutes long, that do a little bit of review and just fun videos that